Zoom is constantly adding new features, and one of the newer features they added a few months back was called Breakout Rooms. Really handy if you're running webinars, and especially as a teacher in school. Breakout Rooms is a really useful feature, but if you don't quite understand how they work, it can be maybe a little intimidating, especially if you're not as comfortable with technology. So I just want to take a few minutes in this video and show you what those breakout rooms do and how they work. The overall of breakout rooms is it allows you to create little kind of offshoot rooms from your main meeting. So you've got your one main meeting, and then from there you can create all these little sub rooms that you can send kids into different rooms. So the easiest example I could think of is, let's say in math class. Let's say you've got some kids working on some advanced math problems and you've got some kids working on some basic math problems. I know I'm kind of simplifying this a little bit, but hopefully it'll help the explanation. So you can, in your math class, create two breakout rooms, one for the advanced math and then one for the beginner math, and then you can actually push kids into those two rooms. So let's say you wanted them to go off into these breakout rooms for 5 minutes and work together on the advanced math and the beginner math. You could send all the kids to the breakout room that you want to be working on the advanced math, and then you can send all the kids into the breakout room working on the beginner math, and then you as the teacher can jump back and forth between the rooms. If you also have other adults in the meeting with you, you can have one adult kind of oversee one of the rooms and you can go into the other one, but you can also jump back and forth. So you have full control over the breakout rooms, who is in each one and who can bounce back and forth. And then you can also pull everybody out of those breakout rooms. So this video is going to just show you how to use these breakout rooms, how to create them, how to move people around, and how to get people out of them. So it's a really, really useful feature and has some really cool applications that you can use it for. So I hope this video will help you out. So let's jump into the Zoom meeting so you can see how the breakout rooms work. All right, so now we are in the Zoom meeting, and as you see, I've got me as the host in there, and we also have Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Boy, it would be great to be able to really have them in here, but so what you're going to see is if you move your mouse around down at the bottom here, you're going to see a breakout rooms feature. If you don't happen to see that feature, you need to go into your settings and make sure it is enabled. If you're part of like a school or some sort of organizational account, you'll want to make sure whoever oversees that has the feature enabled. But once they enable it, you'll be able to see it. So I'm going to come down and click on breakout rooms. Now you have a couple ways you can create breakout rooms. So the first option you're going to see is how many breakout rooms do you want to create? I'm going to create 2. You can create, depending on how many people are in the meeting, I think you can get up to about 50 breakout rooms, but that might be really tough to manage unless you have a lot of people helping, but the capability is there. I think the standard would be, again, I think the minimum, depending on, again, how many people you have, would be 20 breakout rooms. So now you have a couple ways that you can assign people to the breakout rooms. You can assign automatically. You can assign manually, meaning you as the host can tell each person where they are going to go, in which room they're going to be placed, and you can actually place them into those rooms. The third option is let participants choose room. That means everybody that's in the meeting can choose which room they want to go to. So especially if you have like a webinar, for example, and you have some different breakout rooms with some different sessions, you can let people choose which room they want to go to. What I'm going to do is the assign manually for right now. So I'm going to hit create. So now you'll see it automatically created default names for the rooms, but you do have the ability to rename them. And down here, you can recreate the rooms, meaning you can start from scratch. You can add a room. So if you decide after the fact you need more rooms, or you can open all rooms, meaning you're ready to go. The other thing you can do is if you hover over them, you can rename them. So we'll call the first room the Rebel Alliance. As you can see, there is an actual theme going on here. And then I'll rename the number 2 room to the Galactic Empire. So you could name them by whatever project you're working on. It's up to you if you want to rename them. The other thing you can do is when you hover over them, you can select a room to be deleted, and it'll delete that room instantly. Over on the right, you're going to see this assign button. So if I hit assign, you're going to see a list of everybody that's in the meeting. So let's say I want Luke Skywalker to go into the Rebel Alliance room. As soon as I tick that box, he's going to be moved over to that room once I hit open all rooms. the next thing I can do is I'm going to assign Obi-Wan Kenobi to the Galactic Empire. And as soon as I am all set assigning everybody, again, you can come in after the fact and move people around. I'm going to hit Open All Rooms. And what's going to happen is on the individual devices, so everybody that's in the meeting, they're going to have a message sent to them saying, you have been requested to join this room. And they have to hit join. But once it's done, you're going to actually see the main meeting over here. They're gone. And what you're going to see now is that if I hover over Rebel Alliance and come just over the one, it's telling you there is one person in each room. But if I hover over that one, it's going to have the word join. That allows me as the host to move back and forth between those rooms. The other thing you can do is if you hover over the individual, you'll see the move to. And if I tap on move to, I can move them back to the main session, or I can move them to the other room just by clicking on it, and it will move them to the room or back to the main session. The other thing you can do is you can, down at the bottom here, broadcast message to all. So if I click on that and say, hey, in 5 minutes, I am going to return everyone to the main meeting. And when I hit broadcast, it will send a message out to everybody's device with that message saying, hey, in 5 minutes, I'm going to move you all back. So those are the basic ways to move people around. And let's say you have a person in charge of each room, you can move that co-host or adult or whoever you want to be in charge also into that room. If you have additional hosts, they can also have the ability to move people around. So it's not, especially if you have large meetings, you don't want to be stuck having to move a ton of people around yourself. You can give a bunch of people that capability. But when you're all set with the rooms, all you have to do is close all rooms. And it said all breakout rooms will close in 60 seconds. It has a message on each individual device saying the breakout room is going to close in X amount of seconds. So it does let everybody know. And it does give them the option to leave now. And you'll see I just tapped leave now on my devices, and they're now coming back to the main rooms. And then if I decide to open the rooms again, it will boot them right back into those rooms. So along the bottom, you're going to see that recreate option, add rooms if you would like to add another room, or open all rooms again if you want to put everybody back into them. But over here on the left, you're going to see this little cogwheel options icon. Go ahead and click on that. Again, you can set some of the settings in here for how people are able to move around from their rooms. You can tick the box, allow participants to choose room. You can disallow participants to return to the main session at any time. So if you want to keep those people in that room until you close them, you can untick that box. If you don't care if they float back and forth, leave it ticked. You can also automatically move all assigned participants into breakout rooms, so it'll automatically take care of it for you. You can have the room auto close in X amount of minutes. So let's say you want to have a breakout room last for just 30 minutes. You could put 30 in the box, tick the box, and as soon as you open all rooms and everybody's in them, it's going to start the countdown clock. Then it will also do the countdown clock for those people in the room. So if you remembered when I closed all the rooms and it was going to boot them back out to the main session, you can set how long that's going to be. So it gives you a little bit of control there. And again, let me open all the rooms. So I'm going to hit join on my device. So now it shows again that those people are in those rooms. But again, let's say I want to move Luke Skywalker to the Galactic Empire. All I have to do is click on Move To and select Galactic Empire. And in just a second, you're going to now see Galactic Empire has 2 people in them, and the Rebel Alliance has 0. I'm going to move Obi-Wan back to the Rebel Alliance. Now he's there. Now let's say as me as the host, I actually want to go in that room. I'm going to hover over the room and hit join. And it's going to ask me if I want to join that room, and I'm going to click yes. And now I am actually in that room, and I can take part with everybody that's in that room. And if I hit participants down here along the bottom, you'll see everybody that's actually in that breakout room. If I decide to, let me get rid of the participants. Now you'll see also along the bottom right, you're going to see leave room. So you as the host, if you want to leave that room and go back to the main session, just click leave room. It's going to let you leave the meeting and meeting for all, or just leave the breakout room. I just want to leave the breakout room. So it's going to put me back to the main session. So it gives you a really nice, easy way to jump back and forth. And if you want to see those breakout rooms, I just tap Breakout Rooms, and here's the navigation menu again that I can use to move around. Breakout Rooms allows you to create multiple rooms. You can move people around, you can add them to the room, you can join the room, and then you as the host can join in on any of those rooms, and you can leave those rooms. When you're done, hit Close All Rooms. Again, it's going to give them a message that this breakout room will close. And I'm going to hit Leave Now on both my devices. And you're going to see that now the rooms are back. The last feature is the Recreate. If I click on Recreate, it'll allow me to basically wipe out all the rooms I already have and create fresh rooms. So let's say now I don't have any use for those rooms I already created. Let's say now I want to create 3 rooms, and I'm going to assign automatically, and I'm going to hit Recreate. And what it did is it just randomly assigned the members to those rooms. So that means you have no control. However, you can exchange and move people around. So exchange means I could actually switch those 2 people. Move to means you can specifically move them to a room. I'm not as big a fan of the assign automatically because most of the time you're creating breakout rooms, you want that control. But it is there if you need it. So that is the feature of breakout rooms. I hope you found this video helpful on the breakout rooms. It's a really cool and very powerful feature. I'm hoping you can think up a ton of ways that you might be able to use this in your classes. But if you have any additional questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. I do respond to any questions, or if you're not sure if you can do X, Y, or Z with the breakout rooms, I'll be more than happy to get back to you. While you're down there, go ahead and also hit that like button. And again, while you're already there, go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date with all my latest video tutorials. I keep wanting to pump a bunch of them out. And if you have any suggestions on some future videos you'd like to see, please also leave those down in the comments. I'm always looking for feedback from teachers and students on future videos that I could do. I do have my own list, but I'm always looking for additional ideas that might help you get more comfortable with this technology that we need to use. So until next time, this is Adam on Tech, signing off.